Daily Words of God.
Everyone should examine anew his life of believing in God to see whether, in the pursuit of God, he has truly understood, truly comprehended, and truly come to know God, whether he truly knows what attitude God bears to the various types of human beings, and whether he truly understands what God is working upon him and how God defines his every act. This God, who is by your side, guiding the direction of your progress, ordaining your destiny, and supplying your needs, how much do you, in the final analysis, understand? And how much do you really know about him? Do you know what he works on you every single day? Do you know the principles and purposes on which he bases his every action? Do you know how he guides you? Do you know the means by which he supplies you? Do you know the methods with which he leads you? Do you know what he wishes to obtain from you and what he wishes to achieve in you? Do you know the attitude he takes to the multifarious ways in which you behave? Do you know whether you are a person beloved of him? Do you know the origin of his joy, anger, sorrow, and delight, the thoughts and ideas behind them, and his essence? Do you know, ultimately, what kind of God is this God that you believe in? Are these and other questions of the sort something that you have never understood or thought about? In pursuing your belief in God, have you, through real appreciation and experience of God's words, cleared up your misunderstandings about him? Have you, after receiving God's discipline and chastening, arrived at genuine submission and caring? Have you, in the midst of God's chastisement and judgment, come to recognize the rebelliousness and satanic nature of man and gained a modicum of understanding about God's holiness? Have you, under the guidance and enlightenment of God's words, begun to have a new outlook of life? Have you, in the midst of the trials sent by God, felt his intolerance for man's offenses, as well as what he requires of you and how he is saving you? If you do not know what it is to misunderstand God, or how to clear up this misunderstanding, then one can say that you have never entered into true communion with God and have never understood God, or at least one can say you have never wished to understand him. If you do not know what is God's discipline and chastening, then you surely do not know what are submission and caring, or at least you have never truly submitted to or cared for God. If you have never experienced God's chastisement and judgment, then you will surely not know what is his holiness, and you will be even less clear as to what man's rebellion is. If you have never truly had a correct outlook on life, or a correct aim in life, but are still in a state of perplexity and indecision over your future path in life, even to the point of being hesitant to go forward, then it is certain that you have never truly received God's enlightenment and guidance, and one can also say that you have never truly been supplied or replenished by God's words. If you have not yet undergone God's trial, then it goes without saying that you will certainly not know what is God's intolerance for man's offenses, nor would you understand what God ultimately requires of you, and even less, what, ultimately, is His work of managing and saving man. No matter how many years a person has believed in God, if he has never experienced or perceived anything in God's words, then assuredly he is not walking the path toward salvation. His faith in God is assuredly without actual content. His knowledge of God, too, is assuredly zero. And it goes without saying that he has no idea at all what it is to revere God.